Oh, I can't hear anything now.
Now you can hear something because we're just getting started. Hey, good morning and welcome to the morning stretch. You know, I muted everybody but the one person that needs to be quiet until we're ready to talk to him. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us on the morning stretch. Tricia Sloma along with Kyrstyn Glover and Matt Engelbrecht, who's amused at the technology gaffes that are happening right now. The reason why is I want to bring in
that's so funny.
this guy who's frozen. He's frozen.
I don't think you can.
He's frozen.
Oh, he's just saying to the Lord.
Friends, that is Jack Van Meter. Did you connect to the Wi-Fi at the restaurant or like we told you to?
No, not at the Wi-Fi restaurant. No.
No.
Oh, Lord.
But he is at a restaurant. Oh, that's fantastic. Can you feel it? Tricia, so what ended up happening was he got done with his live shots. He looked cold. He looked hungry. And I said, go find a cafe and we'll check in with you during the morning stretch to get a sense of how your morning has been. Because it has been quite the morning on this first low weather day.
All right. So what we're looking at right now is a very frozen Jack Van Meter. Hopefully we can get that connection sorted out here real soon. We're going to have him talk in just a moment. We welcome you to the morning stretch, though. We'll let him get situated there. We have had quite a morning, though. It has been really busy because of this right here.
Yeah.
We're talking about the snow. Today, as you can see, the red day on Thursday, a first alert weather day.
That's right. Yeah, I need a couple of cups of coffee to get you going this morning. And Jack's been out in it. He was saying something around 5 to 6 inches of snowfall. Oh, we have them. We have them now. I can see it moving. Go ahead, Tricia. You can figure on a 10-day forecast for your Thursday, 24 degrees and 26 degrees on Friday. What he's going to do is take a bite right before we surprise him by going on camera. See?
Oh,
I told you.
Right,
there it is.
Yep, there it is. Here this is. We'll get to you in a minute, Jack, but we're talking weather right now.
Yeah, we got temperatures back up into the 20s and 30s. I think Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we've talked about this before, when you get into a lake effect snow event like this, and then sunshine and dry conditions, the car washes going to be filled the next couple of days. You're going to look at it, say, I want to get some of the grime, the salt off of my car. And this weekend, I expect that to be the case.
All right. Well, let's get live to Niles, Michigan, and our friend Jack Van Meter. You've been our punching bag all morning long. So we are happy to talk to you now. It's been quite the morning for you, hasn't it?
Dare I say, I had to get up this morning at 2 o'clock in the morning. That's not normal for me.
No.
Not at all. But no, happy to do it and report on the road conditions up here. And let me tell you something. It has yet to cease snowing up here. We're currently sitting at 2nd in Main coffee shop. Lots of windows around here, and we're just watching the snow fall down. It's awesome. Having a nice breakfast sandwich.
All right, move your camera. Show us what it looks like outside a little bit.
Yeah, okay, hold on. Let's do this.
The other thing to keep in mind, so he had to wake up at 2 a.m. He also had to cancel his bowling league participation. Isn't that true? Didn't last night you were supposed to be on a bowling team? You said, sorry, guys, I can't do it this week?
Yeah, with our very own Bobby Hensley.
Bobby.
I was gonna fill. Oh, Bobby. I was gonna fill in. I was gonna fill in on his team last night. I was feeling good last time I went bowling through a 222.
Yeah.
I was pretty proud of that and ready to run it up again. And no, duty called though. But again, very happy and very thankful.
Wait, what's your average?
It was a good
He
time.
bowled a 222. The guy sitting in a cafe reported on Lake Effect Snow, also sitting on a 222 last week.
Wait, that's an average of 3 games, or that's one game?
That was one game.
Okay,
that was one game.
Yeah, that's my games.
I usually
4 games added up.
No, I usually bowl right around 170, 180 in there.
That's really good, though.
Not terrible.
Yeah.
I think it's not bad.
Yeah.
Hello.
Wow. Well, you are in a business.
Hello.
We're gonna allow that.
We are.
Hey, let's talk about
Yep.
we know that Daniel is sitting nearby. Daniel Huckstettler, our morning photographer. Hopefully he's getting warmed up as well. He shot some amazing video, and you want to show us, Daniel?
Aw.
Hey,
Daniel.
hey,
I
Daniel.
know where you are.
Finally warming up. Grateful
where
for
you
you
are.
and your work, both of you. Glad you're nice and warm right now. But we want to show some video, and if I can, I'm going to go to it. But you go ahead and talk over it. Jack, this is what you were experiencing this morning. Boy, it was just, what a mess out there on the roads.
No, it was, yeah, that's a perfect way to put that. Just a huge mess. We were dealing with high amounts of pretty heavy and fairly steady lake effect snow. Again, still dealing with that, but take a look at the traffic. Very, very slow out there. We didn't speed up that footage. We didn't slow it down at all.
Yeah.
That's just the speed that people are driving out there. And again, saw a lot of people at the intersections really sit there and spin their wheels. It had a hard time kind of getting to go. But again, just been dealing with these off and on flurries throughout much of the morning. And again, you can just see the roads there. You're not looking at any sort of markings on the roads. You're almost driving blind there. So obviously, as another challenge to the morning commute. So I was very happy, Tricia, when you told me earlier this morning, I was like, oh yeah, by the way, Niles just flat out canceled school. I was like, that's a good call right there. I love
That's a
that.
good call.
Yeah, that was a good call. That was the thing. I started by saying, "Oh yeah, we have delays on the screen," and Matt was quick to point out, and our producer and our director this morning, no, they were flat out closed. Tricia, take a closer look, and yeah, it just said closed Thursday. So. And you know what? Good call for these schools that are directly in the path of that lake effect
yeah.
system.
Yeah, and overall,
No,
go ahead. Sorry, Jack. No, go ahead,
Oh,
Jack.
no.
No,
okay,
please, I
I'll go
insist.
then. There's a weird delay.
No, go ahead,
Matt.
Jack.
I'd love to. Driving just from the station up here to Niles, which again is not a far drive at all. We left the station this morning right around 4:20, 4:30 this morning. Had maybe an inch of snow on the ground. When we got out here in Niles, we had close to 5 inches of snow, and currently there's about 7. So it's unbelievable. I mean, it's just lake effect. People who grew up here and who live around here, we know about lake effect, and we know how localized it gets. And this is just a textbook example.
Yeah. Well, and we appreciate you jumping in. I love this on the morning stretch because we have the chance to show people kind of the behind the scenes. And I know, Kyrstyn, you were like, okay, I think we can do this. We can just dial him up, send him a link, and then get him on the morning stretch. Kyrstyn, you grew up in northern Indiana. You have seen your share of lake effect as well.
Yes, I have. I mean, nothing like 7 inches in
Right.
quite some time.
Yeah.
But, I mean, we did have like a huge storm when I was younger, like, feet of snow.
Yeah.
Over several hours, and it was just. That's all I can remember that snowstorm, but
Don't let us slow you down there, Jack.
Unbelievable.
yeah,
I'm
how's
not
the
going
sandwich?
Yeah.
What a
Phenomenal.
character.
Right.
A
Phenomenal.
character.
Bacon, egg, cheese, Kobe Jack. What kind of cheese did you get, Daniel? Same. Kobe Jack and Kobe
Kobe
ordered
Jack
the same
cheese.
thing.
And if I know where
It's
you're
the best.
located, don't they have like coffee flights or hot chocolate flights or some? Look up on the menu.
They have
I know you're-
mimosas.
The mimosa
They got
flights.
mimosas here.
They have the mimosa flight.
You are not allowed to do
Can't
that,
do that
sir.
yet. No, I don't want you driving back in those kind of conditions.
No, please.
What's kind of interesting and with where he's located, with the snowfall, earlier at about 5 a.m. we were looking at the radar, and I wasn't suggesting, but I was saying if he went to the east and the southeast, only about 15 miles, he would be right in kind of that jackpot zone.
Right.
And of course, we didn't encourage that. We want him to stay safe, because if they were to do that, you would have been looking at what normally is about a 20, 25-minute drive. That would easily have taken you about an hour, hour and a half. We'd be off air by the time you were able to set up.
Yeah, because look where it's snowing right now, guys. I actually have it up on the radar right now, or you guys have it up on the radar. I just moved it over so that our viewers could see right now. Folks, this is where the heavy band of lake effect snow is setting up. And we're talking communities far south as like, what, Fort Wayne? Did I hear you say that this morning, Matt?
Yeah, earlier this morning, the band was stretching. It was stretched all the way through Goshen, Syracuse, and then there were a possibility of some light flurries as far to the southeast as Fort Wayne.
Wow. Wow, there's a lot of people going to see snow. And so you say this is an all-day event. So what are we talking about? Maybe South Bend drivers when they're going home later tonight?
Yeah, you got to be very careful, and it's not because of the snow that is on the ground. It's because of the changing conditions, how fast that short distance can change, whether you're driving through, again, low visibility from snowfall or some of that snow that is already down. And I was mentioning it on air, sections of Michiana are being impacted by lake effect snow. So there's sections of the toll road that are going to be bad. There's sections of certain roads that you take in the evening that are going to be bad. It's not going to be the entire way. So you have to stay vigilant knowing that those conditions are going to change very quickly.
Yeah, that's tricky. Tonight, there's some events going on downtown South Bend. They have Perfect Pairings. It's a fundraiser for Unity Gardens. They work with Ivy Tech chefs, and they use locally sourced vegetables and meats, and then they pair it with a beverage. And it's usually just a fun event, a nice chance to showcase the work of Unity Gardens and the Ivy Tech Chef and Culinary Institute. But that is an event that's taking place from 5 to 8 this evening. What are you thinking? Is that something that's going to be kind of tricky to drive to today?
I'd say it won't be as bad as what we had this morning as I zoom this all the way out. What helps the situation is that temperatures are expected to be back into the 20s. And Jack's talked about this before at great length, that the surface temperatures has a big impact on how well the roads respond to the snow that is coming down. And you were talking about that just a little bit ago, Jack, where in between 5 a.m., the snow has increased. It hasn't stopped, but roads, I think you said, have improved because of the friction, because of the warmer temperatures on the roads.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Matt. What I watched earlier this morning was that a lot of the roads, again, were almost like an ice rink. There was no tracks on it. Not a lot of people have been driving on it. But as people have started to wake up and head into work and maybe even head into school, obviously, if they didn't have a delay or closure, what they ended up doing is carving tracks into the road. And if multiple cars go over that section of road at a time, what you're going to have is a wear down of the snow, but actually a gradual melting of the snow too. And this is a double-edged sword. One, it makes it easier for some cars to pass through because you already have a trail to go through. But on the flip side, you could be looking at some icy conditions forming in those tracks as well, just because, again, you're dealing with frozen water on the roadways. And obviously our temperature is well below 32 degrees. Actually, I think we're sitting somewhere in the lower teens right now, if I had to guess. I mean, it's cold out there.
Yep.
And it's honestly one of the main reasons why we are seeing the snow type that we're seeing too. We're seeing a lot of dry air. So we're seeing a lot of easy, dry snow that's pretty easy to get through and especially clear your car with. It's been a fun morning, but a challenging morning at that. And that's why we were telling people, you know what? If you don't have to go to work, if you don't have to go to school today, stay home.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Kyrstyn has been keeping track of who's jumping on Facebook this morning. Do we have a lot of viewers or anybody you want to shout out to?
Oh, yeah. So we got Kathy, and she wants to thank us for keeping her updated.
Oh, you're welcome, Kathy.
Thanks, Kathy. You're welcome.
She's looking forward to next week's temps. And
Yes.
we got Rudolph. He is ready for spring weather and warmer temps, as we all are.
Rudolph, we could use you today. Okay? All right.
With your nose
Goes
so
without
bright.
saying, that's right.
Yeah. Jack's holding a party there in Niles, apparently.
Yep.
What's
Oh, yeah.
happening?
Having a great time up here in Niles. Again, I'm finishing my breakfast sandwich.
Sure.
I'm having my mocha, right? We ordered
Nice.
mochas, right? Oh, I had a cappuccino. Excuse me.
Cappuccino.
He doesn't even know what he's
Cappuccino.
drinking just yet.
Yeah.
No.
Boy, the cold did
No,
get
I-
to you.
Yeah.
No, it did. I can't feel my toes right now. not
I don't know.
happening.
Over on social media during one of their weather hits earlier, I mentioned that you needed suggestions on cafes or places to go to get a bite to eat in Niles. So it seems like you had an easy time. Did you just walk to where you're located?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we parked over by the movie theater and just hoofed it over here to 2nd and Main. Yeah, it's not too bad. Not too. That being said, the snow on the sidewalks hasn't been fully plowed yet.
Yeah.
So we had to kind of forge our own trail through the unplowed stuff. But that's why God invented boots. So
That's
we were all
right.
good this morning. That's right.
Is
Yeah, we had a
that who
good time.
invented them? I didn't know he
Yeah.
had the patent on that. I'm going to look at the patent
did.
office.
Yeah,
Boots.
he owns a large stock
God.
of Red Wings, so that's what it is. Yeah.
Not the hockey team. We were talking about the shoes.
No,
the boots.
No. Workwear.
Kirsten, who else is jumping on this morning?
And we got several people watching, but those were
Our comments,
Those
huh?
were the comments.
The comments, yeah.
Yes.
So
All right.
the system as a whole was attached to a larger system that moved through the United States,
Yeah.
parts of North Carolina. In fact, a good buddy of mine, Luke Kanadworski, down in Knoxville, Tennessee. So that's going to be, they're picking up an inch. So you see the images coming in from what we have with lake effect snow. They picked up an inch of snowfall and school was canceled. Wow. Just 1 inch. Luke Kanadworski's 1 inch of snowfall canceled school for the kids in Knoxville. And then you see the footage that Jack got from this morning with, I don't know, 6, 7 inches of snowfall.
Right.
That's when you cancel school. But I jokingly say that because obviously they don't have the equipment.
I was
like
going to
what we do.
say they don't have the budget for the salt and
Yeah.
everything, so our hearts are with them. Although we kind of make fun of them because it's like, how many of us are saying, "Oh, come on, you wimps!
Right, right. This is
You can do this. You can do this."
I think we've had probably 10 inches of snowfall over the course of about 5 days in the last week. It just keep getting 2 here, 3 there. This is a little bit more impressive event. I don't think they're going to see any lake effect snow down in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Wow.
No.
All right. Well, hey, I hope you're enjoying anything you want to add there.
Yeah, Tammy Lopez is saying snow, 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 please. Thank you. Have a great day. But are you trying to say you're happy with the snow?
Ooh.
I'm not.
You know what? I will play the devil's advocate here.
Okay.
I loved it this morning.
Did you
I
have a good
really
time?
did. I had a great time out there. Again, Tricia,
Yeah.
the only issue is I can't feel my feet right now. So, it's a give and take situation, but it's so pretty. I've always loved lake effect snow. It's just so fun. It's so intense. And it's one of those things where it's like, why couldn't this be December 24th going into Christmas?
Oh, it's so
Right.
true
Would make
because
it-
if you picture this image right here, and we have the video that Daniel sent to us.
Look at that.
If we had this with the twinkling lights in Niles, because they always do up their Christmas decorations so beautifully there in Niles. It looks like it's one of those Hallmark movie backdrops because they have the main street right there and all the old buildings, and it looks so great. They've done so much with their park system. Then when you realize it's February and you just are trying to survive winter, it does make it a little more depressing.
Yeah.
I
And
would have to agree.
No, go ahead, Jack.
No, Matt. No,
No.
Matt.
No, I insist.
No, Matt, trust me. I went first the last time. You're going to go first this time. Continue.
It's snowing outside. That's all I wanted to say.
All right.
That's all I wanted to say,
Yeah,
Jack.
today is a day of
That's it.
compromise.
Nice.
It's all you.
Yeah.
It's all you, pal.
No, what I was going to
all-
say is typically we can't get to this on air, but we've been planning where Jack should go since yesterday afternoon. In fact,
Yes.
yesterday morning. So it's one thing for us to show you these images and Jack and them to get these images back to you, but you are doing it safely. You and your crew that have been in Niles continue to do it safely. We planned ahead to make sure that you're not taking any unnecessary risks in those conditions, because the last thing we want is for you guys to be hurt.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously that's the messaging that we always push out is if you don't have to go out, don't go out. So when we go out there, we give ourselves plenty of time. Again, we gave ourselves about 35, even 40 minutes to leave from the station to drive up to Niles. And if you know the area, it's not a far distance, but again, we just wanted to plan ahead.
Yep.
And funny enough, we barely made it in time because we never broke.
We know.
We never broke.
Oh, we
45
know.
We're well aware how close you are.
We barely made it. No, I think it.
we got him.
And the other thing that was really important to note is that you, at one point, you were wanting to go chase the snow. You know, we joke about storm chasing. In fact, you did it in college. Let's be honest here. You did storm chasing in college. Where we're talking about the big old-fashioned thunderstorms and tornado chasing. You've done that, but you were.
Yes.
You had this little bit of you this morning that was like, "Hey, I see that lake effect setting up in a town east of here. Let me go." And you're like, "Nah, we're not going to do that."
No.
Not worth it.
No, not at all. Like literally, I'm telling you, Tricia, when we came up here, 9:33, we started at 51. Again, you couldn't see any markings on the road, so we were driving blind all the way up here. And again, just seeing how long it took us to get up here. I was like, well, you know what? A 10-mile drive, that's just not in the cards this morning. That's just not going to happen. Even though it would have been a good shot camera-wise and everything, it was just not worth it this morning.
Well, I think we get the picture, literally get the picture, because you guys did a great job out there for us this morning. And Kyrstyn, I know you as a producer, you were here overnight and you were crafting a lot of our show today and trying to budget the amount of time to weather. And this is something that we do. A little bit of transparency here. We give extra time to our weather team, don't we?
Yes, we do. And sometimes it's hard because, especially when we cut over to Jack and like, if something happens live, we're going to keep rolling. So while we're, producing the show, we have to make some cuts here and there. So, everything's all fine and good. Show was clean on air.
What's the term when we don't run a story because of time? What do you do to the story?
I don't say that.
You don't say that?
No.
You don't say it floated?
Oh, that one.
Yeah,
I say that one, but there's
other
one
terms
that I'm just like, no, that's kind of
crude to say on air.
What I hear in my ear is this has been floated, this has been floated, this has been
We're
floated.
floating this, we're floating this.
I try to only talk to Tricia when I do that, but like sometimes I'm like, I feel like you need to know too, so then I let you know.
We got the screen with what's called the rundown, so it tells us where the show is going, and anytime something shows up red, it's because it's been floated. Usually
dropped.
On a day like today, I'll come back and just see a bunch of red.
Yeah.
Kind of like my spelling test in second grade. Just a whole bunch of red on the screen because of how much time we've taken up.
Miss Lisa saying lake effect is crazy. Hardly even snowing here in Elkhart.
Wow. The moon was out. The moon. I went to measure snow, and the moon's there. And I turn around, and you can see the lake effect snowband right behind you. I mean, it's one of the reasons why you really need to appreciate living in Michiana and living where we are, because not only can you get a great bite like what Jack is doing right there, but check out the scenery behind him. That snow coming down. I've been staring out that window.
Yeah, can you give us another peek outside the window before we go today?
Yeah,
a band just worked through.
Let's go ahead.
So it should look pretty.
Yeah, actually just take a walk outside real quick,
Yeah.
I'm not doing that. I want to be...
He knows his limits. Yeah.
How nice.
That's where the ice festival was.
It is very true.
Right at that corner.
Right out there.
Oh, well, there's still a sculpture across the street that's still standing fairly strong.
Really?
Oh yeah. Oh, it's a swan. It's pretty.
It's swan. It's pretty.
It's right behind me. No, and it's loving these conditions. It's not gonna like next week though.
Okay. All right. Well, do you want to give one last check of weather for us, Matt, and then we will wrap things up. Why don't we tell people where and when this is going to end? Yeah,
so the other part of this, we're having a good time talking to Jack. He is in Niles, and that is going to be on the left side, if you're looking at your screen, on the left side of that heavier band. I imagine, Jack, when you come north to south, you shouldn't have any problems. There's obviously going to be snow on the ground. But look at that band setting up to the east. That is going to put down easily 3 to 4 inches of snowfall in the next couple of hours. So, I wouldn't suggest going snow chasing. But, just off to your east, about 15 miles, that's the jackpot.
Well, and we talked about this earlier. If people have business or maybe a doctor's appointment or something in Chicago, and we know people do, they head west to Chicago. And usually when you hear lake effect snow, you don't want to even take the toll road or anything like that and head west to Chicago. Today's an okay day. You're not going to have a problem.
Yeah, and you can see, if you go back to the radar, how things have kind of shifted. One section was near Granger earlier this morning. Now sections of the toll road over towards east of Elkhart and to the west of LaGrange and Sturgis. That is going to be a poor section of the toll road as we go through the next 45 minutes to an hour. All right. Well, guys, this is going to wrap it up. Hey, Jack, thank you. This was fun, wasn't it? Thanks, Jack.
No, I had a great time. No,
you had breakfast. Let's be honest.
I had breakfast. It's dinner and a show. Breakfast and a show. How about that? I don't want to go that far. It's dinner and Jack.
No? It's dinner and Jack.
Okay. What about breakfast and a live stream? That's what this is. There you go. I like it.
Well, we're going to wrap things up here, guys. Thank you so much for joining us on the morning stretch. Have a great day and be safe out there, all right? Have a great one.